It's a great shot on goal. It could be there. There it is. Wow. There it is.
Great shot.
Joyce the snap. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Unloads it. Caught at the 15 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Darien.
Bay checks out.
Saved by Escamilla.
And a great look, great effort by Lindsay Bennett.
Trying to get an aerial there. There it is. Yes.
The Darien Athletic Foundation is proud to present high school girls soccer here on the DAF Media Network this afternoon from the campus of Darien High School. It's the Darien Blue Wave taking on the Fairfield Warde Mustangs. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Damian Andrew. Alongside, joining me this afternoon is Jonathan Gill, former Blue Wave soccer star here at Darien. We will also be joined by the head boys soccer coach of Darien, a guy who you know well and played for, Jonathan. John Bradley will be joining us after his practice. He's practicing on the other pitch here at the Oval with his boys team. And it's great to have you alongside for this broadcast once again. Your second broadcast for the DAF Media Network.
Thank you, Damien. I appreciate it. Oh, hello, and here's John Bradley. I was really happy to do the last game. I listened to the tape. I'd say one criticism I have is that I said the word fantastic too many times because the game was fantastic. So I'll try to say less, but I am still hoping for a very, very good game here. The weather's a little more permitting than last time. I remember we had 90-degree weather on the turf last time. It's a nicer day out for soccer. I think it's going to be some high-energy play in this good weather, and I'm looking forward to watching the girls' team play for the first time.
John Bradley, welcome in. Last time you and I spoke, the Darien Blue Wave girls varsity soccer team had a big win at Wilton on the road, and it's good to have you on this broadcast, John. What did you tell your boys this afternoon?
We better hang in there and get a win soon. Yeah, we're going for we've got a tough stretch at the moment. We've got another game tomorrow against Fairfield. The boys are working hard. We're getting a couple of unlucky breaks, but we'll keep plugging away and hopefully get a win soon.
John, we are joined by one of your former players here, a guy you know well, Jonathan Gill, who played for you here at Darien on some very good Blue Wave teams.
I could do with him playing for me now, to be fair.
Oh, no.
We're going to pause for the national anthem. And we are just about ready to get underway here from Darien High School. Fairfield Warde comes in with a 6-2 record. Darien 7-2 on the season. They're coming off a tough 2-0 loss to Ridgefield, a very good Ridgefield team earlier in the week. And John Bradley, as I talked to Coach Lee Parsons, Darien's sixth-year head coach, he said his players a little banged up, fighting some injury bugs, and they've got a tough stretch here of games. Obviously, it started with Ridgefield. Today they play Fairfield Warde, and Warde comes in, as I mentioned, 6-2, having a pretty good season. They are coached by Tom Cunningham, who has done a terrific job with the program over the years. And they come in on a 4-game win streak, all shutouts in those wins.
I tell you, it looks like another windy day over here. It looks like it follows us. Yeah, I think Fairfield's a good team, and like we talked about a couple of games back, the way the Darien schedule is made up, it doesn't help them, because they had 4 or 5 of the easier games straight off the bat. So they're in a stretch now that's very, very, very difficult. So they're going to have ups and downs. I said they played a great game against Wilton. They were flat against Ridgefield. I spoke to Lee after the game, and you're not going to play your best for 16 games. And today they'll have a game plan for Lauren Tangy, the centre midfielder for Warde, who is up there, in my opinion, with Peyton McNamara as being the best 2 players in the league by miles. She's heading off to Wake Forest. So if they can get a grip of the midfield and get some control of the game in there and prevent her playing, we'll have a chance today. So it's going to be interesting, because I know Lee and Mike have worked on that yesterday and talked about it. But at the end of the day, the girls have got to go out there and execute. So I think the first 20 minutes is going to be really interesting here to see if we can come out, get refocused after an average performance the other day.
Coach Parsons said before this game, John, when I spoke with him, that we really need to try to grind out some wins here. It's a tough stretch on the schedule. They're a little banged up in terms of injuries, but we really have to find a way to grind out some wins. We are just about ready to get started here. Darien in the white with the pink socks for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Fairfield Warde in the black with the red numerals, and we are underway here from Turf 2 here at the Oval, Darien High School.
No, that's not a good start for the ref. Yeah, he just fell over. Look at that.
Yeah, Jonathan, when we called the last game here from this field, it was a hot day, temperatures hovering in the high 80s, not much wind. Today, a gorgeous day, a little bit windier, which we'll see how that plays out in this match.
Yeah, it's a strange one today, because the wind's almost going side to side, so it's not really going to help anyone in particular.
You mentioned, John, Tom Cunningham, the Warde head coach, has really built a nice program at Fairfield Warde. Won a state championship in 2007 in his very first year on the job. How about that? Win a state championship right off the bat?
Yeah, he came in straight away and had success, and he's managed to keep Fairfield in the top 4 or 5 programs in the league over the last few years. Very, very good coach, very nice guy.
They had a trip to the state finals again in 2014, lost that game in 2 overtimes. Here's Chrissy Fiore with the goalie kick.
Again, if he very, very early on here, you can notice the change in formation for Darien. Darien's opened up in a 4-5-1 where they've moved Ellen Harnish out to the left. So it's going to be interesting to see when we get the ball up to Katie Ramsay if we can get any midfielders up there supporting her. If not, it's going to be easy for Warde to open Darien up. So this first few minutes can be really important for Darien to keep their shape. You can see there, as soon as Tangy number 5 gets the ball, the immediate instruction is to get 2 players there and don't let her turn. Because after having McNamara beat you single-handedly in the game against McMahon, they definitely don't want to let her win this game today. Lee and Mike are going to force the other 10 players for Warde to win this game.
Well, if Tangy is anything like Peyton McNamara, John, she's got to be a special player, because Peyton McNamara had that big goal in the McMahon win over Darien here on campus, and I was very impressed with her ability on the soccer pitch, Peyton McNamara, only a sophomore.
Yeah, as I said earlier, they're definitely, in my opinion, the two technically top players in the league. They're on the ball, they're excellent, but I think Darien's got a very good game plan today to prevent her getting time and space.
Lauren Tangney, the senior midfielder for the Mustangs. Just getting started here at Darien High School. The Blue Wave taking on Fairfield Warde, big FCIAC girls varsity soccer matchup.
And it looks like Darien with a couple of changes. It looks like Sophie Coultalisi is slotted in at left back, with Lauren Larissa coming into centre midfield.
We will not see Honora Brown, who's such a big part of this Darien girls varsity soccer team today. She is out with an injury. Coach Parsons confirming that. She's probably about a week away, he said. And John, how many times have we called her name this season?
It's typical, unfortunately, of sports. She had a great start to the season, and I think they're definitely missing her presence in centre midfield. But again, other girls have stepped in and played well. Today's going to be, as I said, another tough test. But yeah, they definitely miss Honora in centre midfield, her ability on the ball and her senior leadership. But again, it's another strong team out there today. And that's what will frustrate the coaches there. We managed to get on the ball, but we give it straight back to Fairfield Warde. I know the coach have been telling the girls to be better in possession. That's much better there. Good Natalie Bravo, who also is having a great season there.
Darien's
This is
offense.
what they'll be looking for. Great ball, unlucky.
Darien's offense trying to push the attack here.
Again, it's fairly, I think this is the fourth or fifth game that I've done this season with you, and it seems to be a fairly similar start from Darien most games. It's feeling out the opposition, seeing what they've got on offer, and then we raise our game after 15-20 minutes. So right now, two teams just feeling each other out.
Free kick here coming up for Warde.
I think when we do get the ball, we'll definitely be looking to get the ball out to Ellen Harnish on the left. Very, very dangerous out there when we can get the ball.
Ellen Harnish has had quite a season so far for the Blue Wave. Darien looking to get back to the FCIAC tournament. They were in it last year, lost in the first round. Coach Parsons told me before the season started, it's all about getting in, and then anything can happen. Jonathan Gill, your impressions early on of this one?
Yeah, I don't want to make any judgments too early, but I have a pretty strong impression that Darien is the more athletic team, especially up front. And so I think that it's going to lend more to what John said, sending balls over the top and then attacking with numbers. So they have, it looks to me like a striker and two wingers, all very athletic players. And I think that I think that if they can keep Warde off the ball in the midfield, ping those balls over the top, get crosses into Katie Ramsay, I think that could lend really well to them. And right now, I like for Darien how the game is going. I think that Warde's not keeping it on the ground too much right now. They're not getting it to their best player, Tangney. So I think Darien's definitely just going to keep trying to get the ball over the top, trying to keep getting the ball out wide and put crosses in for Ramsay, and I think that'll eventually lead to a goal. And that's the style of this team. I mean, I watched that one game that John and Eric Hannigan commentated with you, Damien. And I found that was the style they played. They play extremely rock-solid defense with a lot of great athletes at the back, and they play to the great athletes at the front as well to knock in that 1 or 2 goals. And as we know, Damien, all of Darien's wins, all 7 of their wins this year have come from shutouts. They're the kind of team that's going to play great defense, and then they're going to nick 1 goal, 2 goals off of good crosses, good balls over the top, rather than dictating the possession for the entire game. Although I will say that I do like the amount of possession that they're playing right now. I mean, the best form of defense is offense. The way you keep someone like Tangney off the ball is by having the ball yourself, and right now they're doing a great job of that. So overall, I like what I'm seeing.
The game you were referring to was that 1-0 win over Danbury under the lights. Katie Ramsay scoring a big goal in the second half. That was a well-contested game between those two programs, Darien and Danbury. Big win for the Blue Wave on a special night at Stadium Field. First night home game in varsity girls soccer history here at Darien.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these other girls, I don't know them personally, if they played other sports and were quite successful at them. It just looks like a really well-rounded athletic team.
A number of multi-sport athletes for this Darien Blue Wave soccer team. Among them, Chrissy Fiore, the keeper, and Katie Ramsay, one of their top forwards, both lacrosse players here at Darien.
Yeah, I think, John, even when you were back coaching the girls team, you had a lot of multi-sport athletes on that team as well. You know, which isn't very common in soccer. I find that a lot of very good soccer teams have players who are, you know, college soccer commits. They play soccer year-round. A lot of the best players in the FCIAC even skip out of high school soccer right now, so they can play. They can play for more advanced club teams. I know Bart Jejic did that when he was under John Bradley, which was an unfortunate loss for the team. So it is interesting to see a team doing so well with so many multi-sport athletes. It's a real credit to the girls out there.
Nice interception here on the near side by Emily Burgle.
Yeah, Ellen Harnish making a great run. If Ramsay can see it, that's a great ball. Unlucky.
Well, that's exactly how they need to play. Slip that ball through, use Ramsay athleticism, and then put the cross in and make good runs into the box. I really like it.
And you can see the frustration from the coaches there. If you look, the 3 midfielders, and it looks like Lauren Larizza's playing a little deeper. Ilana and Natalie Bravo have got to make those runs into the box.
John is completely correct. I mean, the key with a game where you're sending balls over the top and you're crossing is that you have to have numbers in the box. You have to have numbers running away from the ball at all times.
This could be tricky for the keeper. Oh!
And here's Ramsay, and that's a goal. Big goal for Katie Ramsay at the 25-minute mark of the first half. Puts Darien up 1-0. Warde's keeper came out.
Yeah, it was a mistake by the keeper, but I don't know about you, John, but the first word that comes to my mind is composure. I think a lot of less experienced and skilled forwards would try and hit that ball first time, but Ramsay knew she had a little time and just went around the keeper and an absolutely sublime finish.
That was an excellent finish. As I said, she took her time, waited, picked her spot, and again, it's a fairly common mistake that this is what Darien won't be looking for.
Guys, gotta be there. Gotta be there. Come on.
And as we spoke about keeping her off the ball within 15 seconds, she almost ties up. It's actually a very, very, very common mistake with a lot of female keepers. She went to the ground too early. There was no need for her to go to the ground. The goalie could have easily just collected that. But as she's gone down, she's fumbled it, and from then on in, it was the Katie Ramsay show.
So Darien up 1-0 here in the first half. We're about 26 minutes left in the first half. big early goal for the Blue Wave to put them on top. And John, what do you do now if you're Lee Parsons in terms of strategy?
I don't think it changes too much. As Jonathan said earlier, the game plan is to get a goal and play rock solid defence. He definitely won't be happy with the way the kickoff took place. I just think we'll keep doing much of the same. I don't think they will deviate from the game plan. They're going to smother Tanguy. As I said, right now, probably Tom will be more disappointed because none of his other players are really involved in the game so far. It seems to me every time she gets the ball, they watch. This is their best move of the game. And again, it breaks down when she's not at the end of it.
Yeah, I totally agree with John, and I think that it's a tough thing for you to play with when you have a star player, because you think, oh, when he or she gets the ball, I'm just gonna sit there and let them do their thing. But the reality is, in order to create space for the star player, you need to make runs off the ball to draw defenders out and give her more space. And if the other players are just standing there for Ward, Darien's gonna have no trouble double teaming, triple teaming Tanguy, and she's not gonna get a lot of action today. But I consider my impressions confirmed. That goal was exactly what I thought it would be. To be honest, Darien had no right to score a goal there, but they sent the ball over the top, had faith that something would happen, and it did. But I really like the possession right here from Lauren Solger. I think she's been doing great out wide the entire game, keeping possession, cutting back, knocking the ball around. And Darien, they have their over-the-top attacking weapons, their crossing weapons, but if they can keep the ball on the ground and pass as well, that just adds another dimension to their game. And it keeps the ball away from Ward as long as possible.
Sophia Cordelisi to throw it in on the far side of the field. And Ward turns the field.
It's a great kick. We're very consistent with it.
Fiore has committed to the U.S. Naval Academy to play lacrosse. I mean, that is special when you're going there.
I think they're looking for her to maybe play goalie at this point.
As you have said throughout the season, John, she is one of the top goalies not only in the FCIAC but in the entire state of Connecticut. And here's a free kick.
Bravo definitely
for
to put this on
Natalie
target.
Bravo.
That's a great effort.
Sails over the crossbar.
Although it just went over the bar, she's probably one of the smartest players on the team. And with the mistake the keeper just made, if she could have just got that on target, it's going to put more butterflies in the goalie's stomach, because right after a goalie makes a mistake, the last thing they want to do is have to make a save.
And John, the best thing about Natalie Bravo, if you're Darien head coach Lee Parsons, she's only a junior, so you get her back for one more season.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at the team today, I think there might only be maybe 3 or 4 seniors that play, so it's a very young team that's coming back again next year.
There's Harnish.
Now, I assume, John, that this is Natalie Bravo as in Marika Bravo, that Bravo family, right?
Same face.
Yeah, I think I saw her make a long throw and in the Danbury game, and she's taking these free kicks. It's exactly like Marika, I swear.
Yeah, the throw in and the way she strikes the ball. It's, they cloned her. Very, 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 very smart player.
And John, it's always nice to see your boys' team, members of your boys' team, in the crowd this afternoon cheering on the Blue Wave varsity girls soccer team. We've seen that quite a bit this season.
They definitely love watching the girls' games. and it goes both ways. But a lot of the times when we play, the girls come watch us. It's a nice relationship the two teams have.
Avery Orashev, the free kick here for Fairfield Warde, and that is a goal. So the Mustangs score off the free kick, and they have evened this up at a goal apiece here in the first half.
And absolutely, I would never have seen that one coming. It was a hopeful ball into the box.
Well, I mean, I was telling Damien this when I was commentating your game against Stanford, John, where you guys were playing a team that was better on paper, and the way you beat a team that's better on paper is set pieces is one very, very dangerous way. And even when you're on the back foot in terms of the tempo of the game and what's going on,
that's a great ball into the box.
Good set piece can change everything.
Yeah, that was a very, to be fair, it was a great service into the box, right in the area. I'd have to look again. It just looked like it went straight through everyone and went in at the back post.
John, to be fair, that was a very entertaining game. I know you came away with the loss, a 4-3 loss to Stanford, but that was a well-played game between you and the Black Knights.
I think we'll sacrifice entertaining for a win anytime soon, to be fair.
Well, I mean, if you guys play like that in the coming games, you'll win. I actually don't know what's happened since then, though.
That's a great
shot. Wow.
Oh! And that's a goal by Ramsay. Wow. Top left-hand corner of the goal, Katie Ramsay scores for the second time this afternoon. And it is 2-1 Blue Wave. And look at Chrissy Fiore coming out for the high fives. Big effort from Ramsay. 2 goals, John. You and I saw her score 5 in one game, the season opening win at Greenwich.
Yeah, and as I said, I've known Tom for a long time, and you can guarantee that he discussed this with the kids about not giving Ramsay or Harnish too much time and space. And that's another great goal by Katie Ramsay.
Wow. I'm really impressed. I mean, in soccer, we call those half chances. They're not really fully baked shots at goal. She had no right to score from there, just like the first one. And she somehow put it in. Absolutely impressive. I'm really, really stunned. 2 great goals, and she's carrying the team on her back right now.
I had the chance to meet her mom, Sherry Ramsay, who's an assistant coach for the Darien field hockey team. Darien beat New Canaan yesterday 2-1. And I told Sherry, I said, it has been really impressive watching your daughter play soccer this season. She's a special player. And, of course, she'll play lacrosse next season, or next year, I should say, in college at USC.
That's a great punt there by the keeper. Gets Darien back under pressure. Emily Burgles had a very, very, very good season.
John, it's so funny you just said that. You took the words out of my mouth. We've talked about her here and there, and she really has had a solid season for the Blue Wave.
Before this season, she'd never played defense, but she, again, very good on the ball, understands the game, and I think has been one of the unsung heroes this season. She kind of gets lost, but absolutely game in, game out, consistent. I'm very, very impressed with how she's played this year.
Teresa Andres had a shot on goal there for Fairfield Warde. Chrissy Fiore picking up the save.
I think what Darien's tried to do, I mean, if you look, go back to the start of the game, we're 20-25 minutes in, and other than one run at goal, Tangi's been relatively quiet, so you can see other Fairfield players going to have to step up and get involved in the game.
Yeah, they've done a nice job marking her, John.
Yeah, I mean, I'd even point out that the run of goals off kickoff where she had the space by definition. I mean, whenever the ball's in open play, she's just getting absolutely zero space. But this is really interesting to me. I mean, it's 2-1 after 25 minutes for a team that has only won through shutouts this year. I guess I've been fortunate to come to all the good games. I mean, man, so many goals when I'm here.
Well, Jonathan Gill, you have seen some offense. I think you've now witnessed 10 goals in your first 2 games commentating soccer for the DAF Media Network.
Oh, they should be hiring me full time. It's a great experience, but man, I'm really watching some good soccer on both the boys and the girls side. Although I was upset, John, that you guys didn't lock up the win after scoring 3 good goals against Stanford, but
We're trying. Valiant efforts.
yeah, I would have to bet the Darien girls here has a very good chance though of locking it up. I think that they made their mistake. Thankfully, Ramsay's put them back on top, and I think I'm looking forward to seeing some rock solid defense.
Yeah,
now.
I think again you're right, from open play. Fairfield haven't really caused any problems today. As I said, I think Darien far superior in this first 22 minutes.
Yeah, and I feel like Darien has 3 or 4 very dangerous players. To be honest, Warde, I no one's really caught my eye except Tangy, of course, and so I'm wondering who for them is going to step up when their best player is being closed down by 2-3 girls. But like you said, John, I mean, right now they're just not doing enough. They're just standing there. The other 10 players not getting involved in the offense.
Yeah, again, it'd be Lee and Mike will have hammered that point home, as I said. To me, the Darien team has really dominated this opening 23 minutes. I think Fairfield are lucky to only be down by a goal.
It is a fairly common thing in high school soccer, though, that I see where there's always one standout player on a team, versus, a club outside of high school where you can collect good players from all across the state or the country. In high school soccer, you're restricted to the pool in just your high school, and there's usually that one star
that's
player.
A great run into
that's
the
a
box.
fantastic run.
That's a great shot. Got a save.
And a great save by Chrissy Fiore. That's why she is one of the best in the state at her position. A great save by Chrissy Fiore.
And she held on to it, which to me was the more impressive thing. I mean, she could have just parried that out, and a Ward player was running in for the rebound, and that's 2-2. But she held on to the ball as well. Fantastic reach and coordination. But yeah, John, I felt similar with Oleg Senek for Stanford. He was running riot in that game.
A very, very, very good player. Every time we scored, he just came back at us and rammed it down our throat.
Damien and I were laughing though because I think his coach called him a creative genius. Now did you ever call me a creative genius behind my back? I didn't hear it.
I called you a few things behind your back. I don't think creative genius was one of them. Oh, that's a great ball. Now that's actually excellent goalkeeping there. She was brave there, came out.
That was a nice ball by Ramsay. Good look.
That's a good touch.
We're starting to get into that kind of banter that I knew we would, putting John Bradley and Jonathan Gill on a broadcast together. We apologize for the wind. You can probably hear it through our microphones. It is a windy afternoon here at Darien High School. Fairfield Warde, Darien.
It's actually switched around. The wind is actually with Ward now, so I think they've decided that in the next 15 minutes before halftime they need to get this game tied up.
Yeah, and I have to say it's a big help to them. I mean, you've said a couple times, John, when the goalkeepers have put it out, something along the lines of like nice punt, and I think that in this game especially, the field position is really important. So if you get a boost in your clearances going, 2/3 of the field versus half the field, it can create a kind of nothing game into a set of constant attacking opportunities.
I mean, she's hitting it 2/3 down the field into the wind. So second half with Fiore's punts are going to be really interesting. This is the best. This is the best
score off one.
It's the best move of the day by Fairfield. That's a great cross. Well done,
really
again.
well done.
Claimed.
Why is lacrosse taking away all the good players from this sport? It's unbelievable. Great goalkeeping.
John, you mentioned earlier a young Fairfield Warde team. A lot of sophomores and juniors out on the pitch this afternoon for Tom Cunningham. Coach Cunningham, as I mentioned at the outset, does such a great job with this Warde program.
That's a good tackle.
He's got some players to build with here moving forward.
I think the players that, I mean, for Darien today, Sophie Cortelizzi and Lauren Lariz have stepped in to start today, have both played very, very well. I think that's why we're seeing very, very, very few changes from Lee and Mike. The players on the pitch are getting the job done, so there's no need to make changes just for the sake of it.
Darien in white, Fairfield Warde in black. Darien moving from left to right, Warde from right to left. And here's Chrissy Fiore coming out.
Close the outside. There you go. Stay with her. Stay with her.
Harnish. Here's Harnish. Boy, she is all over the place, Ellen Harnish. Nice turn by Tangy. And a nice ball, just a little bit too much.
Well, I was saying last game, Damien, the good goalkeeping's it's a lot more than just saves, and right now Fiore is just fantastic command of the box and great distribution. I mean, it's really a game changer, even on the offensive end. It's just an absolutely fantastic weapon to have.
You used fantastic twice in that sentence.
No, I didn't, did I? Well, this is the problem. I wish it was a boring 0-0 game and I wouldn't have to use it, but
listen,
here I am.
You brought it up, John, at the outset.
That's how I used to describe Jonathan Gill's crossing. Fantastic. This would be another opportunity here for Warde to pump this ball into the box.
Another free kick here for the Mustangs.
And I think because Darien has been so unbelievably consistent on set pieces, defending them, it's a big surprise today that again wasn't defended too well. But again, we're on the attack. Well done.
Yeah, John's very right. Even though that set piece led to nothing, the ball went through 2 or 3 defenders there, which is absolutely unacceptable. Warde's probably going to score another one off of a set piece unless Darien can get that ball out with the first touch. It can't beat the first defender, or else you're always going to be in a lot of trouble.
Warde started to come into the game a lot the last 5-10 minutes.
Good job, Warren. Good job. Good job, Avery. Play it wide.
John, I don't know if I've ever asked you this. We've done about 4 or 5 broadcasts together already this season, and you've done such a great job, by the way. How much time during practice do you work on set pieces in soccer? Is that something that you spend a lot of time on?
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Gill can tell you that they win and lose matches even at the highest level. So the delivery of the set pieces, which has actually been very good from Warde today, enables you to create different things inside the box by timing of your runs and just being hungry in the box. We went through that practice today with the boys. There has to be a hunger and a desire when you put yourself inside the penalty box. And that's where you work on it a lot. It's not the easiest thing to create a chance when there's 15, 16 bodies in the box. So you have to work on the gym practice, and it's getting that fear out of you. But the ability to time a run and head a ball is it really isn't. It's such an easy opportunity to score. Again, Fairfield Warde, well done there by Bergwall. It's got a little bit flat here in the last few minutes. I think Darien possibly sitting a little bit too deep here.
Bergwall, and that was a nice effort from Emily Bergwall. You commented on her defense a few minutes back, John, and she makes a nice play there.
Yeah, I think that one, she could actually have just let it go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Tough in the moment, though.
Well done there by Ramsay.
Yeah, for a striker, she's getting back on defense a ton. Incredible work rate.
Here's Ramsay to throw it in, or Natalie Bravo, I should say.
Am I about to see a long throw, John?
I'll be surprised if it isn't.
Wow.
And it's going to go right over the defender's head, and she's already looking for Olivia Yu in the box. It was a good look there by Ramsay, even though the ball didn't make it. And again, that'll be, I think, the defensively in the centre of midfield with Ilana, Louisa and Bravo have done a fantastic job. You can actually hear Lee yelling that now. They've got to do a better job on the ball. They're giving the ball back to Ward too easily.
Alana Dolan, nice ball.
It's the same again. If you look there, she had Ellen Harnish open in the middle. So again, she's done an excellent job defending. I'd actually give our midfielders A+ for defending today and probably a C for distribution.
Well done, Lauren. Well done.
Ramsay will be looking to take her on here. It's a great touch.
And here's where her speed
I think I know who's
just
going to
comes
win
into
this foot
play.
race.
Oh.
How often have you said this season, John, I think I know who's going to win this foot race? Such a speedy player is Katie Ramsay, number 10.
Yeah, she's smart as well. And because she's so quick, that first touch around the defender there was bigger than most people can actually take, because most people wouldn't have a chance of getting on the end of it. That's a great touch. I look for Harnish to go here. She's checked back. I would have carried on there if I was her, because she's very skillful.
Well done.
And it's cleared away by Ward.
We just need to be a little bit more selfish in those situations.
This is a very athletic, fast, and tall Darien team.
I was about to mention that, Damien. I wish I was as tall as half these girls. I would have been better myself. But yeah, so much athleticism.
Forgot to mention your multi-sport athletes. Left back Sophie Coultalese is the squash player.
Oh, she's a squash player.
Of course, Jonathan Gill played squash in college at Columbia, played here at Darien High School.
Oh, that's going to be difficult to defend. Darien can just get this ball. There you go. That's actually well defended.
It's a great tackle.
That's very calm, and that's a very good example of what I was just talking about. The defender there didn't just whack the ball up the field, she brought it out the back. That's a very poor decision by the ref just then. The whole ball has to be over the line for it to be out of bounds, and I would say that definitely wasn't. But I mean, if he calls it, he hasn't got to run so much, so.
2-1 Darien here late in the first half of this FCIAC
She'll look to
girls
slip
soccer
that over,
matchup.
and then it'll just become a foot race with only one winner.
Yeah, John, I gotta say, I never really understood the whole two refs thing in high school. This is the only format of soccer I've ever seen where we have two referees and no assistant referees on the lines to call offsides and throw-ins. It's
You might also have two referees that have never played soccer in their entire lives as well, so it makes it even more interesting.
I didn't know we were allowed to say that in the broadcast, but I secretly felt the same way when I was playing a lot of the time, so I'm just going to leave it there.
No, I think the refs have done a good job today. There hasn't really been too much for them to do, which is nice when they just let the game flow.
It's a great touch.
Good tackle there.
Wow.
Again, it's going to be interesting the way the game shakes out. 5 minutes left. Darien will just be looking to keep this tight, keep the 1-goal lead going into the half. But again, I think it's the game plan has worked. They've kept Tangi very, very, very quiet today.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I'm noticing right now is that she's very, very deep. You look at where she is in the field, it almost feels like she's playing kind of a holding midfield or a defensive midfield position. And I think it could be because she's frustrated. When she pushes up, she's not getting any space, and she has to drop back to receive the ball, and the further back she is, the less dangerous she's going to be.
No, I agree, and as I said, I'll give the centre midfielders of Darien A+ today for defending, and probably a C for distribution if they can just find the forwards' feet or the space. It's another great cross. That's well defended there by Darien.
Would they care that you give them a C for distribution if they score 2 goals in one half?
I think we could get a lot more opportunities to be on the ball. I mean, we're defending very, very well, but because we're just whacking the ball back to Fairfield, I think we've got to, at some point, hold the ball up just a little bit, maybe go into Alan Harnish's feet or Ramsay's feet, instead of just whacking balls back to the keeper and having to defend again.
Yeah, I was only half joking when I said that, but I totally agree with John, and I think that the 2 goals that Darien have scored have been individual efforts,
That's a great ball by Alana Dolan.
Yeah, kept it on the ground well.
Now pressure is relieved. We can breathe a little bit. Rams has decided something, we're not sure what. Now would be the time just to, let Emily throw it down the line to Taryn and get a little break. Again, just a smart throw in.
Girls, keep talking.
3 minutes to go if Darien can just keep hold of the lead.
2-1 Darien here as we approach 3 minutes left in the first half. John Bradley, Jonathan Gill, and Damian Andrew joining you this afternoon for this DAF Media Network broadcast. High school, varsity girls soccer, Darien and Fairfield Warde.
Another great job there by the midfield as soon as that came in. I think Ilana Dolan is having a fantastic game today.
I was just going to say the same thing. She's played well, Ilana Dolan, in the first half of this one.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by the work rate. You know, we just saw Dolan right there lay the ball off and then make the run right away instead of staying back. It takes a lot of effort to be able to keep your feet going and to make great runs, and I think I've seen that from Katie Ramsay too on the defensive end. She's sprinting back and forth up the field, closing down Tangney when necessary on the defensive end, and then going straight up. I mean, she's been all over the pitch. So, I mean, if one thing stands out for me here from Darien, it's the work ethic of these girls. It's absolutely unparalleled, and I think it's what's beating Warde right now.
I think Ilona Darlan must have heard me there. The last 2 times she's had the ball, she's found feet. The frustration is that we're just giving it back straight back. Pardo's got to do a better job than that. We've got 2 minutes left in the half. Found feet, and good teams like Fairfield Warde will counter-attack too quickly. Okay, once you've got the ball in that last third of the field, it's just simply control the ball and find the forward's feet.
That's a great touch by Tangney.
Again, it's interesting because today she's distributing the ball where I think she has the ability to be selfish and at some points take the game over. She's looking for her teammates to do some stuff. And again, those shots, you can hear the crowd clapping, but those shots are, it's like Christine Fiore eating dinner. They're never going to score from that distance.
Amanda Motkin, the senior for Fairfield Warde, taking that shot on goal. Christine Fiore, the save.
And that will have been part of the game plan for Darien, is just keep them out there. If they're shooting from 20, 25 yards out, it's going to have to be a world beater to beat Fiore.
The throw in for Fairfield Warde on the far side of the field as we approach the end of the first half here. Here's Ramsay on the far side of the field. And that will do it for the first half here at Darien High School. The Blue Wave lead Fairfield Warde 2-1 after 2 first half goals by Katie Ramsay. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with second half action here on the DAF Media Network.
She's playing well.
We are back here on the DAF Media Network, the second half of this FCIAC girls soccer matchup between Darien and Fairfield Warde, about ready to get started. Darien up 2-1. 2 first-half goals from senior forward Katie Ramsay, and we are underway here at Darien High School. Seems to be a clock malfunction here at the Oval. We'll see if the scorer's table can get that resolved for us. Little clock malfunction there, John. So no score, no clock, I should say, right now.
I think
see if they can get that resolved.
The first half was so entertaining. I think we're just going to keep playing. No clock.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, what did you think of that first half? It was an entertaining first half. 3 goals, a lot of offense. Ramsay showing why she's one of the top players in the FCIAC.
I think Darien did an She took her 2 chances really well. Here we go. If she can just, it's a great ball.
Bravo. Nice strike from Bravo.
And I've stolen
Kaylee Walcott.
I've stolen Jonathan Gill's chair, but I'll give it back to him in a couple of minutes, don't worry.
Well,
his young legs can stand for a few minutes.
It is my fault because I was late, but half the bathrooms inside were locked. I couldn't
we're
believe
in. Ramsay,
There's
could we look
Ramsay.
at another goal? Yes!
No.
And just like that, minutes into the second half, Katie Ramsay picks up her 3rd goal of the afternoon. A breakaway for the Blue Wave, and Ramsay puts it in the back of the net, right side. And Darien takes a 3-1 lead.
And that'll be interesting when we look back at that later on. I'm not sure if we can see it. The ref thought the left back there played Ramsay onside, and he seemed to be in line with it, so I've got to believe him. But it'll be interesting when we can look back and see exactly what happened there, because Ramsay was wide open in the middle. Obviously a great start for Darien, 2 minutes into the half to score.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing there from the Warde defense as well. I think twice in a row in just a span of 1 minute, Katie Ramsay was allowed to be slipped in with a lot of space. I'm not really sure what happened to Warde over halftime, but the defensive organization coming out, they just seem really cold. So it's going to be tough to climb back, but
Yeah, I think that with how Darien plays and how solid the defence is, I'm not seeing a way back into this game for Warde now. In fact, Darien will be looking to get the 4th goal to put this game away.
yeah, I agree with John. The only way I see back is set pieces. We said this earlier. I think Darien's still been a little shaky defending them. They've been great in defending open play, so I think the way Warde gets back into this is through a couple scrappy goals off of some good set pieces, some good corner kicks. Aside from that, I totally agree with John. It just looks all Darien at the moment. So
I say from the Warde standpoint, a very, very poor goal to give up. I mean, Ramsay was wide open in the middle.
Well, although Warde did answer that first Darien goal in the first half rather quickly to even it up at a goal apiece, so we'll see if they've got an answer for this goal.
Yeah, I think for Darien here, we're only 3 minutes into the half and you've scored another goal. It's going to be very important to not let Warde back in this game. As I said, keeping it tight for the next 10 minutes.
Now how do you play this, John? Up 2 goals now in the second half. If you're Coach Parsons, just keep doing what you're doing, or do you change strategy at all?
No, I think you carry on because you sit in your 4-5-1 as we are. The game plan has worked so far, wasn't it? It was to get the ball up to Katie Ramsay up top, get some players supporting her, although she scored all 3 goals by herself. So Darien's going to keep trying to smother the midfield, which I think it's a great tackle there by Lauren Larissa. I think Larissa, Alana Dolan and Natalie Bravo have dominated the Warde midfield today. So it's going to be so important to stay focused now. Keep dominating that centre midfield, and the more frustrated Warde gets, the easier this game is going to become for Darien.
yeah, I agree with John. I think that the way to finish this game isn't a tactical one; it's a focus one. There's a saying in soccer that a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous one. And the reason for that is that, when you're up 1 goal, there's not a lot to lose focus about. When you go up 2 goals, you can get a little complacent. But I'm not seeing a lot of that from Darien here. I don't think they've taken their foot off the gas since Ramsay scored the third. I think that they're just right back at it, and I think it's pretty likely they're going to get a fourth. Certainly very likely they're not going to be conceding again. I'm very confident Darien's going to get the win here.
I think Darien's too experienced to know that happen, and that's the nice thing about having, at the moment, a whole team of juniors and seniors on the field. There's complacency is not going to happen from Darien. It's more of, if we can just get that fourth goal, push on, and really get Warde deflated, then Emily Berger will see that out easily.
Well, if you're Coach Lee Parsons, you have to be pleased coming off that loss to Ridgefield at home, tough game, the way they've rebounded here against Fairfield Warde.
Yeah, as I said, I think that the difficulty is you can't play 16 games perfectly. And again, you see, it's very, very, very difficult to get up for every game, and Darien's going to have to find a way, because this stretch they're going into now is just relentless. I mean, the games they have next week, we see the Fairfield coach getting a little bit frustrated over there. I'm not sure why. As I said, he should be a little bit more disappointed at the defensive breakdown they had a minute into the second half.
You mentioned Darien's upcoming schedule, John. It doesn't get any easier. They're at Fairfield Warde on Friday, then home against Staples.
I think they've got Ludlow Friday,
Staples, New Canaan, and West Hill, and then St. Joe's.
Welcome to high school soccer.
Yep. And the FCIAC, of course, one of the best conferences in the entire state of Connecticut.
But I think this is, if Darien can hang on to this win today, it all but locks them into a spot in the top 8, because the division, the girls, is almost divided into 2 leagues now. There's 10 teams at the top and 6 teams at the bottom. And with Darien having already beaten Trumbull, this would be a huge win today. As I said, this year anyone can beat anyone, so just getting in the top 8 is the most important thing. And then I think Darien will push on to try and get the top 4 spot to get a home game in the FCX. At which point I'll have a lot more time on my hands to be here sitting with you commentating on those games.
And we will be thrilled to have you, that is for sure.
And to be said, the great thing about the video is that the ref was so adamant there that the left back did not come out. So, I mean, I've got to believe he's right, because he was standing straight in line with it. So that's a bit about always being focused and switched on. The Warde defence will be very frustrated about giving up a goal like that. Not quite sure what happened today with the ball girls.
Aren't you the one who coaches them, John? Isn't that your responsibility?
Definitely not me. There's definitely a team that's meant to be here today. I'm not sure who it is. As I said, I think the Warde coach is getting a little bit frustrated, because obviously now every second counts.
John, well, I have this opportunity. Have you ever played Jonathan Gill in squash? Has that ever happened?
To be fair, I think I wouldn't want to embarrass him.
Oh my God. I should be playing squash. I've played squash as Jay Alter recently, but I think John Bradley would be a totally different challenge.
I think it's been the most impressive Darien performance so far, especially after the result the other day.
Well, that's the big key, is coming off that loss, disappointing loss to Ridgefield, only their second loss of the season, but to play the way they've been playing this afternoon on the pitch has to make the Blue Wave coaching staff very pleased.
And I think Sophie Cortelisi out here at left back has done a real solid job today. And it's nice when players come and do this. It gives the coaches problems, because she keeps playing like this. It's hard to pull her out of the starting lineup. Lauren Larissa the same in centre midfield. She's done an excellent job today. It's going to be interesting to see if Darien can keep the same shape and focus for this last half an hour, because it's been a very good win.
You see Darien, players wearing the pink socks and the pink ribbons, some of them, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's 3-1 Darien here in the second half. We're about 10 minutes into the second half. 3 goals from Darien senior forward Katie Ramsay.
Well, like Jonathan said earlier, unless Tangy, who's on the ball now, decides to take over this game, which she's playing rather unselfish today. As I said, today, other than maybe 1 or 2 other players, the Ward team are struggling to really get a foot on the ball. So I think she's the only way I see them getting back into this game today.
Is it a combination of her playing unselfish and the Darien defense?
It's a combination of both. Darien have smothered her every time, but every time she's getting the ball, she's looking to. I think if I was going to use a sports comparison, it'd be the NBA. I think LeBron James can score. That's a very, very, very
and we have a
painful hit there.
Darien player down on the field,
Lauren
Larizza. Hopefully she is okay. Head coach Lee Parsons tending to her. 25:40 left in the game as the clock has stopped. 3-1 Darien in this FCIAC girls soccer matchup.
Yeah, I think the comparison I'd make is, my own opinion, LeBron James could score 50 points every night. He decides to utilize his teammates. I mean, it almost looks like that's what Tang is trying to do today. I'm not sure why she's, and it might be something from the coach, it might be something with her, but I think she could definitely be a little bit more selfish.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be her style, which wouldn't be very helpful, because if her style is pass first, distribute the ball, it's tough to just change that in a matter of minutes if that's how she's grown up playing soccer. But I would say as well, extending your analogy, it's pretty tough for LeBron James to score 50 when the other team's game plan is to triple team him, and I think that's what happens. That's what's happening with Tangy right now. I mean, she's just getting no space. She has to drop back in order to get the space, and she's looking to distribute, because I just think that maybe she doesn't have the confidence right now to be able to take it on herself. Maybe that's not her first thought.
Larizza is up and standing, which is a good sign. While we have a moment here, a break in the action, update everybody on the Darien field hockey team. They beat New Canaan yesterday in New Canaan at Dunning Field, 2-1. It was the first time Darien has allowed a goal this season. They
as long as they allow 1 and score 2, the gang's safe over there.
That's right. The only blemish, if you want to call it that, on their record, as Lauren Larizza walks off, the only blemish is a 0-0 draw with Daniel Hand, non-conference game earlier in the season.
Oh, and they're always quite good. I remember when my sisters played field hockey. It was Daniel Hand every time in the state final.
Yeah, they're one of the better teams upstate. Better programs, I should say. 25:40 left in the game here. 3-1 Darien. Damian Andrew, John Bradley, Jonathan Gill on the call this afternoon. I apologize. I said 25:40. It was 29:40 at that stoppage for the Larizza injury. We're talking about the Darien field hockey team. Our next broadcast for the DAF Media Network is Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock. The Darien field hockey team plays Garden City out of New York on Long Island in a big non-conference game. We'll bring that to you live, 4 o'clock from Stadium Field here on the campus of Darien High School.
Looks like while Lauren Larizza's off the field getting checked out, Darien's dropped Katie Ramsay back into midfield with Lauren Solger up top and Olivia Hughes come on to go out to right midfield. So same shape, just different personnel.
It is a beautiful day here on the campus of Darien High School. The wind has calmed down a little bit. Just picture perfect.
Yeah, very important the next 5-6 minutes here for Darien to make sure the Warde don't get back in this game. Those long balls won't bother the Darien defence. I just can't see any way that Warde's going to score 2 more goals unless they change some things up. They're almost sitting in the same formation as Darien, and Darien's doing a far better job.
Here's Harnish fighting for the ball. Jonathan Gill, your impression so far of this second half?
I mean, I think the big moment came, obviously, with the Katie Ramsay goal, and I was pretty disappointed in the Warde defense. They let her through far too easily. Whether or not they thought they were playing her offside, it was just still poor defending. And after that, I have to agree with John. I mean, it's just been all Darien. I don't know whether or not they're going to score another goal or not, but what I can say is that Warde does not look like they're going to score. And to be honest, I think Lee Parsons and Darien will be absolutely happy with the way this game is going right now, and I'm sure that they'll be able to see it out for the remaining 26 minutes. And just in the game in general, like I said, I'm really impressed with Darien's organization, their maturity, their work ethic, and obviously their athleticism. And John made the point that when they went up 2 goals, they weren't going to get complacent. They were experienced and mature, and he's definitely been proven right. This team has worked just as hard as they have from the first minute of the game since they went up 3-1. So overall, really impressive, and looking forward to watching more of them in the future.
Darien, of course, coached by Lee Parsons in his 6th season as the Blue Wave head coach. He replaced the man sitting to my right, John Bradley, who coached the girls soccer program here at Darien for a number of years before taking over the boys program.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, Damien. You said it was 6 years ago John was the girls head coach, but I remember it like yesterday. He was doing a great job with the girls. The boys were struggling. We're all glad he switched over.
Looks like we've got, oh, that's a great throw. Oh,
That looks like a handball to me,
Handball.
yeah.
Here's Ramsay. While John Bradley built up the girls program here at Darien, and he has built up the boys program here at Darien.
What are you not good at, John? I mean, really, you just done brilliant everywhere you've went.
And he says he can beat you in squash, Jonathan.
I know he can be. Yeah, I'm sure he can. What'd you say, chess?
yeah.
Oh, come on. Bet you're good at even that.
That's another interesting one, though. That'd be interesting to look back later, because I think the ref had a bad position there to see that handball.
Yeah, I agree. It's the problem with the 2-ref system. I mean,
Same just then, I think. Unless Olivia Hughes falling over a leaf there, that's quite clearly should have been a foul to Darien. But I think Mike and Lee, the best thing about today is obviously we're 3-1 up with 25 minutes left, but this performance has been dominating today. Darien, by far the better team today.
You know, one name we have not called a lot this afternoon, but she has been in on so many plays, is Emily D'Annunzio. No surprise there, one of the 4 captains.
Yeah, just the 2 centre-backs.
Team.
Emily and Anna in centre-backs have been very, 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 very consistent the whole season. They've formed a very good partnership in there. And that's why I said I don't see, unless somebody does something special for Warde, I don't really see how they're going to break them down. And I think you can see now that the frustration growing from Warde, they just can't get a grip of this game. Lawrence was very quick. This could cause problems. It's the first real time we've seen Laurentini on the ball in a while.
Yeah, she did really well there, but
And again-
there we go. Yeah, she does great, and then her teammate loses the ball. I mean, at some point, she's got to be getting frustrated with this.
It's a good turn.
Nice cross.
And that you could see that coming a mile off, the way she shaped her body there. That's a poor finish. You don't get many of those opportunities 8 yards out. You've got to hit the target there. If she just places that into the goal, it's 3-2 and it's a whole different game.
Caitlin Walsh had a look, but it sails over the crossbar. And Darien dodges one there.
The habit a lot of players have is they think they need to smash the ball as hard as they can. Right then, just a simple pass into the corner of the goal, and this whole game has a different complexion for the last 20 minutes.
Here's Ramsay in the middle of the field.
And again, it's a case of Darien get another injury. Dig in. Ramsay's dropped back to centre midfield. And the coach is now switching it up and putting Katie Ramsay back up front. A little slow on the ball there from Darien.
Great tackle.
And a nice tackle by Bravo. And I thought tackling was only in American football, Jonathan Gill.
Absolutely not, Damien. This is a tough sport.
It's in soccer and field hockey as well.
Although,
John, we got to get you on one of these field hockey broadcasts. We'll have to talk about this afterwards.
We're both available for hire, no problem.
yeah, I mean, I got to say this. You're mentioning tackling in this game, Damien. I mean, dare I say this Darien girls team has even better physicality than the boys team does. I'm not sure John would disagree.
I take no offense to that comment.
Certainly better physicality than I ever had when I was playing soccer under John Bradley.
But that's to say, this is a strong a physical team, but mentally strong as well. And I think with that's great skill. And again, maybe she should have shot there.
Yeah, Ward keep looking to make that last pass to get a very clear opportunity, and sometimes you just have to take the shot from weird angles, and that's what Katie Ramsay's done well. Katie Ramsay's first 2 goals were, as I said, half chances, and I think if a Ward player were in the same situation Katie was, they would have just passed it off. But Ramsay had the clinical instinct, knew when to shoot. And John's completely right. That earlier miss from 8 yards out. I mean, Ward is not going to get many chances, if any. And so one of the things they have to do is just take every single one. There's no other way to put it. And that miss was absolutely huge.
I mean, the boys today, we just spent the whole session working on finishing, and I tell the kids, when you're inside the box, it's a pass into the corner of the goal. It's a myth. Shooting is a myth. The technique is the same. And that's why when that ball came across, you could see what was going to happen there before she even touched it. Looks like the ref's got adding a little bit of confusion to this.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier about an important word, composure, that Katie Ramsay had, and I think that, in a practice situation, maybe that Ward player would have passed it into the goal, but in the game situation, there's a lot of pressure, and I think that's what was so impressive about Katie Ramsay, especially her first goal. The pressure of the actual game just didn't get to her, and she did exactly what was the right thing to do. Didn't let anything get into her head except scoring a nice goal.
And then she did the same on the third goal. She just slid that into the corner of the goal.
Yeah, I think my problem is that I'm taking her for granted. I'm forgetting all the good things she's done.
I think the ref has finally decided we're in need of ball girls, so here we go.
Are those yours, John?
No idea what he's done, but It looks like Mr. Cunningham requested some ball girls, and here we are. I would imagine, seeing as the Darien bench has shrunk, that Lee has given pennies to some of the bench. Yes.
And now we're ready to get underway. We are halfway through the second half here at Darien High School. Fairfield Warde and Darien in an FCIAC girls varsity soccer game.
It's the body language from Warde doesn't look great right now either.
Warde has just been unable to really generate much offense here in the second half. Nice clear by Dolan. Dolan, as you mentioned, John, has played well this afternoon.
Yeah, I think this has been the best game I've seen her play so far. You don't see that urgency out of Warde. It's almost like they're a little bit resigned to defeat in this game. So,
Yeah, I agree with John, and I think especially Tang New's on the ball right now. I think she's not taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Content to get the ball deep in the midfield and distribute it rather than make those driving runs towards the box, which are the most dangerous weapon that Warde has. And I mean, she's so skilled. I mean, that pass right there is just, I mean, that's college level stuff. But in this game right now, they need her to play a different role. They need her to be driving towards the box and shooting.
And that'll frustrate Tom there. I mean, the crowd's clapping, but it's a hopeful ball. It's not going to trouble Christine Fiore at all.
Yeah, especially if they don't have the numbers up. I mean, Warde had one striker in the box there. It's just not going to work. And John mentioned urgency. I think that's totally right. I don't see Warde piling numbers forward. I'm fine if they launch hopeful balls, if they have 4 numbers in there and are really making their utmost effort to score with every half chance they get. But right now that doesn't look like the case. They're just playing the game as they did when it was 0-0, and that's just tactically the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, the game is just drifting at the moment, which is going to suit Darien fine. They've got the 2-goal lead. And like Jonathan said earlier, they're just not looking like they're going to trouble this Darien defence still.
Want to give a quick shout out. We have the moment here. Connor Darby working the camera for us this afternoon on this DAF Media Network broadcast.
It's a good header there.
Terrific job. Brendan Ross, our exceptional producer. 3-1 Darien.
I did notice last time Brendan had a little laugh at me. They turned the camera to us, Damien, and I had absolutely no idea we were being looked. I stared at it for a solid 10 seconds. You could see Brendan laughing. He's like, what is this guy doing? TV is tough, Damien. I really respect you.
Well, John Bradley has made it look easy.
He always does.
This season.
Well, to be fair, it's definitely easier than coaching.
When I first got to know you, when that was, when you made that really nice run in 2015 to the state finals.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable experience going that far. And
I can remember every week coming down here to the pitch and interviewing you.
That was a clear handball. Oh, finally.
That was a special team in 2015, John. And if memory serves me correct, you lost to the #1 seeded team that year.
Yeah.
In the state tournament. And you were like the 11 seed. Were you 11 seed?
Yeah, we were down there.
You were the 11 seed. You were.
Yeah, because we had a couple home games. But again, the postseason, you need some luck. We had a great run. This is where Darien will be looking to finish this game off. It's a great ball, except we've headed it backwards.
As you mentioned earlier, Sophia Cordelisi has played well, the junior, in this game.
She's had a Very good game today.
Yeah, I am interested, John, just talking about that state run you guys had, because I didn't really follow very much once my brother left the team in 2014 for the pursuit of another sport. But I mean, did you think there was a lot of difference in the level of play that you saw in 2015 versus back on our teams in 2011 and 2012? Because you recall that when you were coaching me in 2011, 2012, and a lot of the best players were still in high school soccer. I mean, you had teams like Norwalk and Bunnell that had about 4 to 5 people who were playing Division I soccer. And I was wondering if it was the same these days.
Yeah, I think the Bunnell team we faced when you were here was unbelievable.
And the Norwalk team as well.
And yeah, the Norwalk team. And again, you need a bit of luck. Like one year when we lost to Norwalk on PKs in the quarterfinals, that was very unlucky. We just happened to put a run together, and I think experience is key as well, which is again why we're struggling a little bit this year. But it goes in cycles. Is again the crowd clapping, but they're not seeing the same game as me. That's too easy with a goalie of Christine Fiore's caliber in there.
Yeah, and I agree with you, John. And I think that one of the facets of experience which is underlooked is not just being old, being a senior or junior. It's being part of a winning culture since you're a freshman. And I think that was something that we struggled with. We had when you joined, we had a great team of lots of seniors, lots of juniors. I was a junior when you joined, but we were not used to winning at the varsity soccer level, and so I think it was something that I think the program had to adjust to. And so it's great to see that in 2015 some of the players that were freshmen back when we started the winning ways got their rewards, did better than we ever did.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're at now. Even though we're struggling this season, some players are gaining some valuable experience, and the future looks bright. As you said, it's not just a case of being a junior or senior. It's getting game experience. It's getting used to the pace of the game. The big difference in boys soccer is there are no days off. So I think in that respect, it's probably one of the most difficult sports is that there's 15, 16 hard games.
Yeah, I agree with you, John, and I think you've done a great job with the program as well. I think the girls program does a very good job with this as well, of bringing the freshmen up to varsity early on and giving them game time. It's really not easy. I think a lot of the best players on our teams weren't even playing varsity soccer when they were freshmen or sophomores. Because it's tough to play a freshman or sophomore. They're inexperienced, they're less physical, they don't have as much impact on the game, but it's something you need to do, almost a sacrifice you need to make in order to establish a team that's going to be winning year after year.
Yeah, I think some of the girls here are seeing the benefit, but I also think it's some of excellent turn there by Alana.
And a great ball.
There's Ramsay in the corner, far side of the field.
It's also some of what you do outside of here. So, I mean, I can go through the whole team. Sophie Cortelisi played Premier until sophomore year. Emily Gann, Division 1, still plays. Anna still plays. Emily Bergel played Premier up until freshman. I can go through the whole team, and maybe bar one player. A lot of these kids left at some point to push themselves. You just won't win in high school, and it's probably where the boys are at the moment. We don't have enough kids that play enough soccer outside.
I agree. I agree with you, John. I think that our 2011, 2012 teams had a lot of premier players. Obviously, we had some kids who went Division I, Ben Heighton, Brennan Bronca.
Fairfield Warde will be looking to get on. Oh, that's a very good tackle there.
Yeah, but I think it's really deadly when you combine the technical ability that a lot of the boys and girls who've played Premier have with being part of a winning high school soccer culture. And like I said, I think that might have been the piece we were missing in our playoff runs, which ended them a little shorter than maybe they should have been. But I mean, yeah, if the Darien girls team has premier players and players who are used to winning at the high school soccer level, it's pretty much unbeatable, and I hope the boys get back there as well soon.
And I think the girls, as I said, I remember when we went to the final and lost to St. Joe's, we actually went 16-0 that season. This Darien team has the potential to go and win an FCIAC championship. I'm convinced of it. I mean, the state championship's obviously difficult. You've got to get a lot of luck and then see Glastonbury. But I don't see any... The way this Darien team plays and when they're focused and on their game and execute the game plan, because Mike and Lee always put them in positions to win. Ellen Harnish will be looking to go round to here. That's a great ball. Oh, good.
And a great opportunity there for Darien. Maddie Joyce looking for her third goal of the season over the crossbar.
Yeah, I think it was a good shot. I think she could have taken an extra touch. Her teammate did really well to give her that space, but a good opportunity, and it's nice to see another player shooting besides Katie Ramsay. I mean, but Darien, this team has so many weapons. It's just great to watch.
And you talk about set pieces, another corner kick for the Blue Wave. Natalie Bravo, of course, will take it into the box.
And behind us, it looks like the Darien JV scored again.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Even they're doing well. This town can't lose.
You mentioned
unless you coach boys soccer.
You mentioned Glastonbury. What a program that has been through the years upstate.
This is what Darien won't want to see. That's a great ball in. But again, just a finished product. I mean, if I'm Coach Cunningham there, I'm not wanting Lauren to release that ball. She's got so close to the top of the box, you might as well keep going. And I'm not sure if she's had a shot today.
Yeah, and John mentioned earlier about finishing, passing into the corner, and that was another example of someone trying to just smash the ball. And the problem is with a tall keeper like Fiore, you're just not going to beat her by smashing the ball as hard as you can into some random spot in the net. You have to pass it into a corner and make her go down with her full body to try and reach for it. And Warde hasn't done that. The finishing has just been really subpar, and they've had two good chances in this half, and we've seen them squander them both.
We just said the name Maddie Joyce earlier, one of the real promising young players on this Darien team, only a sophomore. She'll be around for another couple of years. That's the great thing about freshmen and sophomore, right, John? They become sophomores and juniors.
Well, it's the bad thing about seniors, they graduate.
That's right. That's right. I made the same comment on during the field hockey broadcast yesterday. A beautiful afternoon here on the campus of Darien High School. The Blue Wave varsity girls soccer team leading Fairfield Warde 3-1.
That's a great run.
Again, it's they've got to keep that ball on the ground. I mean, any ball in the air, Christine Fiore, it's too easy for her.
In other broadcasts that we've done, Fiore really hasn't been tested. But in this game, you can tell why she is so highly regarded as a keeper. She has made
I mean, I'm understating it. She makes those things look easy. Her angles are very good. She reads the game very well. So Warde have got to do something different, which it looks like they've struggled with for most of the game. In terms of making her think. But today she's done a great job of, she's pretty much owned the midfield and forwards every time they've gone out wide or into the box. And again, another great header there by Emily.
Darien as we are closing in on the end of this one. We're about 5 minutes left. And here's Fiore. And that is over the crossbar. Nice effort there by Fairfield Warde.
This is a nice shot.
I believe that was Olivia Ronning for Warde, number 2.
Yeah, it was a well-struck shot, but as John says, they're all hopeful. They're hopeful shots. They're probably not going to go in, especially against a keeper Fiore's caliber. And right now, I really have to agree with John. I mean, Fairfield Warde, the urgency is just so low, almost like they just want to go home, get this over with, rather than a team that is really thirsty to get 2 more goals and secure a draw. And we have seen nothing of Tangney in the last few minutes. Here she is. Let's see what she does. And again, there's the distribution. I mean, I'm pretty sure if John Bradley was coaching her, he would be telling her, drive into the box, shoot that ball.
Yeah, it's an odd... It's been very odd today from Warden. I said I've known Coach Cunningham for many, many years, and I think you can see he's a little bit frustrated by this game today as well. But Darien thoroughly has dominated this game and been far, far, far superior.
Well, as you said, John, it's tough to turn yourself on for 16 games this season, and maybe this is one of Warde's
we're looking for a 4th
off games.
Under 3 minutes left here in this FCIAC girls soccer game between Darien and Fairfield Warde. The Blue Wave a commanding 3-1 lead. Thanks to 3 goals from Katie Ramsay, the senior forward.
Game just kind of fizzling out here the last couple of minutes. Ward struggling to come up with any ideas.
And if the Blue Wave can hold on and win this, it would be a big win in terms of the FCIAC standings. And their hopes for a trip to the FCIAC tournament. Under 2 minutes left in this one.
I think that'll just about do it. Like we said about 35 minutes ago, that once we got the 3rd goal, there really was no way that I saw Warde getting back into this game. And I think Christine Fiore falling over her own feet there, having a little chuckle.
It's always good when you can laugh at yourself.
I do that many a time. But again, I think that the girls that have stepped in today will be the most impressive. Like Lauren Larissa, who obviously went out with a bang on her face. But her, Sophie, Solga, they've stepped into starting spots, and I think have played very, 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 very well today.
I have to agree with you, John. I think given the circumstances, coming off that loss to Ridgefield, and are we going to have a penalty shot here?
That's the most bizarre call, but who am I to argue with the ref?
And I believe Fairfield Warde is going to have a penalty shot here.
Yep.
With 31 seconds left in the game.
I think the ref is just utterly confused now. He's got no idea what's going on. I can tell you, ref, without seeing the video, she was pushed. But it's a little bit late now. You've given the handball.
So a penalty shot here for Fairfield Warde. They are down 3-1 with 31 seconds left.
I think Fiore's got this one. Maybe not.
That was a pass into the corner. That was a great
Somehow
finish.
we managed to lose 10 seconds off the clock, which will definitely benefit us.
Teresa Andres, the goal there for the Mustangs as they pull within a goal. Under 30 seconds left.
Very, very, very strange call there by the ref, and who also hasn't realised what happened with the clock. But this should still be easy for Darien to see out this last. I reckon there'll be a Natalie Bravo who's going to smash the ball into the far corner, and I'm guessing the ball girl is going to disappear. I can see the future. I think there's going to be no chance of getting down the field in the next 10 seconds.
Well, it was well played from Natalie Bravo. Damien, in American football, we call that a coffin corner punt. Am I right?
That's a very astute remark, Jonathan Gill, as this one is just about over, and that'll do it. Darien holds on to beat Fairfield Warde 3-2 this afternoon in an FCIAC girls varsity soccer matchup. And Jonathan Gill, let me ask you your final impressions of this one, your first time seeing live and in person this Blue Wave varsity girls soccer team.
I was really impressed with the work rate, the athleticism, the maturity, the execution on the tactics. They looked on top of things all game. They really deserve to win 3-0. A special shout out, of course, to Katie Ramsay with some incredible finishing. Really composed throughout the game, and I thought Darien across the board played well. Obviously a great goalkeeper in Fiore, so I'm looking forward to watching more of them. But obviously Fairfield Warde have to be disappointed, and John said you have to play, or you can't play 16 good games in the season, and I think Darien was lucky enough to run into Warde on one of their off days.
John, obviously Katie Ramsay will grab the headlines with the hat trick, 3 goals in this one, in a 3-2 win over Fairfield Warde, but this was really a total team effort by Lee Parsons' team.
Yeah, like I said, the 3 girls that came in did very, very good jobs today. It was the best team performance I've seen for the whole game. The penalty was just very flattering to Warde. I think the scoreline's very flattering to Warde. Darien didn't allow them to play. It was, again, a little bit flat by Warde today, but great win for the Wave. They'll be looking forward to going to Ludlow on Friday night, get another one, and then get ready for next week. It's been lovely spending time with you, gentlemen.
Well, it has been another great broadcast here for the DAF Media Network. Thanks to Jonathan Gill and Jonathan Bradley. For Connor Darby, Brendan Ross, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a production of the Darien Athletic Foundation.
It's a great shot on goal. It could be there. There it is. Wow. There it is.
Great shot.
Enjoys the snap. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Unloads it. Caught at the 15 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Darien.
Faye checks out.
Saved by Escamilla.
And a great look, great effort by Lindsay Bennett.
Trying to get an aerial there. There it is. Yes.